Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Saturday evening with the American in Crimea and West of Freedom show. We're going out to both channels tonight just because I felt like it. So we're going to talk about a couple of things, not only the supposed ban on instant messengers in Russia, but also we'll talk about everybody's favorite subject for a very, very short time, which is the money issue. If you join the stream late and you have questions, you're going to have to go back and rewind because I'm not going to repeat because I have the, what shall I call her? The godmother of producers in the back who will kick me in the shin if I repeat myself. So, since we are already demonetized, this is done special for Jay. So we'll stop it there so we don't get into too much trouble. I will probably take a copyright strike on the music, but hey, all they can do is demonetize me. So that said, let's hop into things. So we'll talk about money a little bit. Excuse any static you hear in the microphone. Apparently, I'm picking up static from the side light here, and I haven't been able to resolve it because I don't hear it. Only you guys hear it, so it makes it tough to troubleshoot. So we'll talk about everyone's favorite subject first, which is money. Yeah, Jill, it's only in-game currency anyway. Yeah, actually, it's donations we get from people that help us the most. So we appreciate that. Hey, Jason. So money. Couple of things I want to mention to everybody just to clarify. I have not beaten I have not been doing something that I should be doing. I've started doing it recently and people are questioning me on it. So I wanted to explain. KYC, know your customer, is a law in just about every country that deals with money, including Russia. So I have begun asking everybody that transfers money to sign a contract, provide a copy of their passport and their visa if they're not a Russian citizen, just so I am complying with the Russian Federation law. And let me get my screen in the right spot so I'm looking at you rather than off to the side. So if I ask you for it, don't be offended. I do not share it with anybody and will not share it with anybody unless, well, with the exception of the bank looking at it to make sure that the name on your passport matches the name on the contract, which matches the account the money is going into if I'm depositing a large amount of money into your account. However, I will be requesting KYC on smaller transfers and particularly on crypto transfers. And that's really what I wanted to talk about tonight is crypto stuff. I got bit the other day. I warn people all the time, buy crypto from a reputable exchange. If you're in Russia, buy it from a licensed exchange. Bybit is not licensed in Russia. It's extremely popular in Russia, but all crypto for people in Russia or Russian citizens is P2P. Somebody told me that they bought USDT BEP20, my favorite because it's the cheapest rate to transfer. I do not charge you guys the network fees for that. If you send me TRC20 or Ethereum, you get to pay the network fees because they're quite high. But anyway, they told me they bought BEP20 from Binance, sent it to one of my cold wallets, and contaminated my wallet because they had actually bought it P2P and they got bad coins. Some of them were tainted from the dark web, which then tainted my wallet. And any transfers I do on that wallet would also be blocked by most reputable exchanges. So I will do AML checks on everybody's wallet before I allow them to send me crypto in the future. I don't care what the amount is. So that wallet cost me basically 45 US dollars I had to throw in the garbage because I can't use it anymore. My own exchange won't take it from me. So that is why I will now require AML. You will have to give me your crypto wallet. I will verify it before I let you send crypto to me. The passport is required for crypto, so I will start doing that as well. And like I say, as far as large amounts of money that we're depositing, I am only dealing with Sberbank. So if you do not have a Sberbank account and you want to transfer more than about 300,000 rubles, you're going to have to pay for an escrow account to keep the money in until you come here and you open a Sberbank account. I can do card to card to any bank, but again, 300,000 or less. So you're looking at about $3,000. That I'll go to any card. If it gets blocked on your end, that's your problem. Make sure you have source of income for your money that you sent. Sberbank is not doing this. Some of the other banks are still okay with doing it, but I've just had too much trouble and I have agreements with Sberbank. So that's mostly what I had to say about money. However, I have a young man who is good-hearted and is trying to look out for people, but he's spreading fear amongst several of my clients just by accident that he's run across them, or he's posting things in forums. I've been asked about this from some other people or as well. Sorry, LA Thorn distracted me. 45 isn't as bad as it seems. It could be worse. It could be 500K or so. Well, it's a learned lesson. It's not catastrophic. Yeah, you could say that, but 45 bucks here is a lot of money. That's 4,500 rubles. And it actually cost me more than that because not only do I lose that wallet, I have to buy another one. So I'm losing 90 bucks. And I tell you, I can live here easily on $1,000 a month. So when you take it in the scheme of things, it's a lot of money. And particularly since this was a $600 transfer. So I was only making, a few dollars off of it anyway. So 18 bucks. So it cost me more than I made on it. So, if you don't think it's that bad, that 45 bucks, you go ahead and make a donation to me for the 45 bucks to buy a new wallet. How about that? Put your money where your mouth is. I do not BS around. People call me Russian quite often. I actually have been called European for a long, long time because I'm very blunt and straightforward. So I'm not meaning to offend anyone, but if 45 bucks doesn't mean much to you, then please make a donation. The links are in the description below, and I would appreciate it. It's a lot to me. So, as I was saying about this young man who is trying to do the right thing and do good, he's actually fear-mongering. I had Sydney from up in St. Petersburg contact me. She said, I've got some guy who's contacted me and he told me that um, I'm not allowed to have a bank account in Russia, and I will be sanctioned by OFAC and arrested. Close all accounts, remove all money, blah, blah, blah. And I asked her who it was. She sent me a link to the guy who was creeping her out. She's 23 years old, so she's just a year younger than my own daughter. So I get a little protective with her. She's a very sweet young woman. She's doing her best to tell people benefits of moving to Russia and what they should know when they come here. And I believe I have her link here somewhere. Here we go. Opening Russia. So go out, subscribe to Sydney's channel, listen to her videos. She does them mostly in Russian with English subtitles or English with Russian subtitles. So you get both languages either way. So she came to me and this guy was creeping her out. So I asked her to tell me who it was. She sent me a Facebook link to him. And it turns out it's somebody that has consulted with me a couple of times, and I know him. He's a worrywart. He talked to me about a week and a half ago about this exact problem. And he had talked to a Russian lawyer in the LA area who scared the crap out of him and told him he could be arrested. But if he paid him only $14,000, he would get him off with a small sanction fine. So he was panicking. He might get arrested. Somebody's going to knock down his doors. OFAC is going to come after him. And I told him to calm down. I put him in touch with Arkady, who is also a lawyer in Russia, who talked to him and calmed him down. And he told me he was calmed down. So that said, I told her to ignore him. I asked him to quit contacting her. So OFAC, do not worry about having a bank account at a sanctioned bank in Russia. The US government only knows what you tell them. This is also the reason I am requiring AML checks on crypto wallets and KYC, because the way I found out that my wallet was tainted is somebody else tried to send me crypto, and he got reported by Binance to OFAC for a $100 transfer because he was sending to a sanctioned crypto wallet, mine. So, there again, let's add on top of that $45, another $100 that I lost because that was a donation. And hey, Daniel, how are you? Linda, howdy. P-Pen, hi. I'll get to that in a minute. So anyway, these things escalate. People are worrying about this. Number one, yes, if you're a US citizen, you have to file a tax return, and they ask you if you hold any foreign accounts. You can check the yes box. The next two boxes on the tax form, you check no, because your account has never had $10,000 or more in it at any given moment in Russia, so you don't have to report it. And, again, what you don't tell them, they don't really know. I am not a big proponent of breaking the law, but what they don't know won't hurt them. I have an account that never exceeds $10,000, and I report it every year because they know I live here. They know that my pension check comes here. So yeah, like George has said, he's had no black sedans pull up in front of his house yet. Where you get in trouble with OFAC is if you're transferring money to somebody you know is in Russia. Yes, Jill, information management is what this is called. So if you're under 10 grand, you don't have to report it at all. And if it is, have a second bank account and just keep less money in it if you intend to report something. OFAC is not going to come after you. They will only be made aware of you if you buy bad crypto from a P2P, or you make a comment in a money transfer that says, I'm sending this money to Russia. Banks can report you, the exchange can report you, and, yeah, as Christopher says, somebody was silly enough to report it, and, just cheaper to shut up. Yes. So I'm going to quit clicking on the comments because I click at the same time as Jay does, my producer. So that's why they go up and down all the time. I will let her deal with her job, which is the comments. I'm just used to doing it all the time. So yeah, what they don't know won't hurt them unless you have an account at a non-sanctioned bank in Russia, in which case they will report you on FACTA because they will make you sign the FACTA report. This is how I got my account in Armenia closed from sending money to Russia because they are part of FACTA as well. So don't tell them what you don't need to. There is no reporting between Russian banks and American banks. There's no reporting between the two tax systems. People worry about, well, all my income in Russia is taxable in the United States. My income in the United States is taxable in Russia. I know the tax ladies here extremely well. My wife teaches most of their children. So they don't care. That's what it comes down to. If you're paying something here, you're paying your taxes on what you earn in Russia. You're paying taxes on the interest you earn in Russia. They'll leave you alone. What you don't tell the United States, you're fine. Christopher, yes, some Russian banks are doing FACTA these days. Raiffeisen and OTP both do FACTA. So that's that. So that's all I have to say on money. I'm going to move on to the next subject. It appears Daniel's popping in the background here if he gets his camera and mic working. So we're going to move on to messengers being banned in Russia. This is another one of those things. Don't get all excited about the news. My lovely producer Jay sent me something from RT this morning saying that Viber was banned yesterday. I promptly made several phone calls on Viber to verify that it is not banned at this point. So what has happened is this is not a new ban. This ban went into effect on March 1st, 2023 as part of the Russian Federation article number 8-10, prohibition of Russian agencies to use information exchange systems owned by foreign entities. So what does that mean? 9 messengers were banned back in 2023 for use by government agencies. That was WhatsApp, Viber, Telegram, and I will discuss those 3 in a couple of minutes. Discord, that was blocked for everybody back 2-3 months ago. However, I can get into it fine without a VPN. Some people can't. VPN is your friend if you can't get into it. Microsoft Teams still mostly works in Russia. And if it doesn't, again, VPN is your friend. Skype for Business just does not work in Russia, period. Unless you're running a VPN. Hey, Mr. W. And, hey, Daniel. Welcome, my friend.
Hello, Kevin.
So, and then WeChat, Snapchat, and Threema. 3 platforms I don't use, so I can't really comment on them. So the biggies I wanted to talk about was WhatsApp, Viber, and Telegram. Yep, Odious, $3 VPN, no trouble. I will not tell you because I guess I'll skip down to that section, VPNs. Most VPN services were also blocked in March of 2023 in Russia for violating Russian law and not maintaining a physical server in Russia that collected logs in Russia. I can't tell you what VPNs work here, but you can private message me if you need more information. This cold just won't leave me. So, but Mr. W, Kevin, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Kevin, I have a question. Is it ever going to go back to where we're not going to need a VPN?
You know, that's a good question, and I have no answer for you.
And when did it start? I don't remember exactly when we, was it a year ago? Was it 2 years ago? How long?
It started March 1st, 2023.
March 1st, 2023 already.
Yeah.
Wow.
So a year and a half ago, that's when they banned Facebook, all the Meta products, except WhatsApp, which is an interesting one. So WhatsApp was never banned, even though it's a Meta product.
Why is that?
And I am guessing it's because most of the Duma members use WhatsApp for their communications with people.
All the schools. Oh my God. You know how many chats we're in with WhatsApp, with the school, with the teachers, with with their coaches and the trainings. Everything is WhatsApp.
It is the second or third most popular messaging app in Russia. However, WhatsApp has been warned, and there is a couple of the Duma members who have talked about asking, what the heck's the name of Roscosmos, blah, 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 to ban it. They haven't yet. Technically, it is banned for government workers. So the Duma members who are using it, and I won't mention who they are because I talk to them quite often. Roskomnadzor. Nadzor. Yes. I won't mention them because I talk to them in WhatsApp all the time. So they're still using it, even though they claim that they're not allowed to. But is what I have seen over about the last month and a half is that if I'm on like a US VPN, it will no longer connect to WhatsApp. If I'm connected to a Moscow VPN, because we have more sanctions on us in Crimea than you guys do in Moscow, it works most of the time. Sometimes it doesn't. If I disable it.
Hold on. You got me there. Wait, how does Crimea have more sanctions than we have?
We have been sanctioned since 2014. So things that work in mainland Russia, like GitHub for computer programmers, don't work in Crimea because we're in occupied territory. Same with Donetsk and Lugansk.
Oh, okay.
Chantel, I'll get to your question in a minute if my lovely producer will start it.
Kevin, I have one question, just because I'm a little
Yeah.
confused. So, what does Russia want to do? Do they want to ban what's coming from the West and then start their own, having people in Russia use their own products?
Well, they have been pushing for Russian agencies, companies, politicians to use Russian products since 2022. They have banned using Microsoft Windows on computers. They've developed a Russian operating system that is used. The airlines are on a Russian system now. And
oh, wow.
okay. And these laws only currently apply to the Russian government and state agencies. And the reason they were doing this is because they view them as potential areas for spying on Russians. We already know that Facebook is awful with people's data. So can you imagine what they do with WhatsApp? And I have it on very good sources that WhatsApp is regularly monitored by the Federal Bureau of Investigation in the United States.
Wait, but now who just retired from the FBI?
It doesn't mean they're not monitoring it.
But things are going to change in that agency, right? I mean, they're not.
Maybe. We have to wait and see. We don't know. So these things have been banned for a year and a half, though. So, this isn't based on today.
Gotcha.
But politicians are still using them. The politicians are technically banned from using Telegram, but you see a lot of them still have Telegram channels. So it's in place. It isn't. As Odious says here, some of the military units have been using WhatsApp and their messages get intercepted quite often. So they're trying to prevent things like this. Now,
so Kevin, there's no turning back, right? Is there any way we can live today without having all of the? I have VK and Instagram. That's it, because I have family and friends in America. So I have WhatsApp, Telegram, WhatsApp only because of the schools and the sports schools. Everyone uses WhatsApp. I don't want WhatsApp, but I have WhatsApp, Telegram, VK, and Instagram. That's it. That's
and
it.
technically, you're violating the law by using Instagram because that's banned for everybody. So you can only access it using a VPN, just like Facebook. So, and this is the solution that everyone is using for all this stuff if they do get blocked. So, like I say, WhatsApp has been having trouble lately. Telegram, quite honestly, if I'm on a Russian IP address or a Crimean IP address, no VPN, Telegram works great for me. If I turn on a VPN, it actually slows everything down. So what's happening is VK is being, WhatsApp is being selectively limited for all citizens, not just government agencies right now. And this is usually what the government does when they're planning to block something totally, is they will do periodic tests, which will lead us to Viber. So Viber, yesterday it was announced that it is blocked for all users because they had terrorist activity going on Viber.
I don't even know what that is. Is that a messaging?
It's a messaging app that is the number 3 messaging app in Russia.
Let me ask you a question. Who has time? Who has time to be on all these different apps, messaging and social media? Like, why do you need 3 messaging apps? Well, not
everyone does, but you use 3 or 4. I use Viber to communicate with a couple of people in the DPR, and I know my mother-in-law uses only Viber because she can talk to her Ukrainian friends on it.
Wow.
So, this is why people pick what they pick. I don't know. I use WhatsApp because I deal with a lot of political figures who use it in Russia.
I don't
And
like
that's the only
WhatsApp.
reason. I don't particularly want it either. But Viber was blocked for everybody. It was announced yesterday. Jay sent me that message from RT that it was being blocked. This morning, I promptly got up, called a bunch of people on Viber. It still works. However, in doing some research today, I found out that they have ordered it blocked, but they haven't added it to the block list yet. So it could be blocked for everybody shortly. And this was the refusal of Viber to remove terrorist groups from the app. So pro-Ukrainian groups, much like we see in Telegram. Russia asked them to remove them. They blocked them for Russia only. And Russia said, it's not good enough. We want them removed. And if you don't do it, we're going to block it. They actually tested this block 8 months ago. Woke up one morning and my wife is using Viber because the schools here were using Viber. And nobody could contact her. So we moved everybody over to Telegram. Then it started working again. So it's expected it will go out shortly. But VPN will bypass. So you can still use a VPN.
Hold on. So, question: do you think Trump gets into office, the situation in Ukraine is resolved, things are starting to go back to normal, then will everything be unblocked, you think?
I don't think, this is my personal opinion, I don't think Trump getting into office is going to resolve anything. He wants to resolve the conflict, but reality is his proposals are not anything Russia will accept. They have no desire to accept what he's proposing. They have no need to accept it. They aren't going to accept postponing Ukraine entering NATO for 10 years. That is a never or nothing deal. They aren't going to freeze the conflict at the current line because the entire regions are already part of the Russian Federation constitutionally. So that's a no-go. Having foreign troops in a buffer zone along the front line isn't going to happen either, because the goal is to demilitarize Ukraine and have the whole country be a buffer zone. So they aren't going to allow NATO troops on the border with Russia and then allow NATO to be rearming Ukraine to do their typical, what they've done over the last several years. So I don't think things are going to change as quickly as everybody hopes they will with Trump. We can pray they will, but I don't hold a lot of hope that that will happen. Maybe he has some advisors who will talk some sense into him, and maybe some things will change. I think ultimately it will come down to Ukraine just losing the all-out war to Russia, and it will be on Russia's terms. That's my opinion. So back on topic. So Viber will likely go away. WhatsApp is being test banned right now. So we'll go to the questions, because what I was going to mention is actually addresses some of these. So Christopher is asking, does Russia have an approved messenger platform? Kind of, sort of, but not really. It's one that you use, Daniel, VK. I use VK. All these same politicians who use WhatsApp also use VK. So I talk to a lot of people there, but realistically, that's like logging into Facebook to chat with somebody. Yes, it has a private messaging system like Facebook does, but it's not really a messaging app. And then mail.ru has a messaging app. I'm not familiar with it at all. I just found out about that today. So there are Russian solutions.
But Kevin, the world that we live in today, it's like impossible to have a conversation about anything without it turning into politics, geopolitics, or there's like so much going on in the world. When you try to talk about a topic that has nothing to do maybe with politics, you always ends up getting to that topic.
As we are right now. This show is to talk about the messenger apps, and what are we talking about? Geopolitics.
That's what I'm saying. Though. This is the world we live in today, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So PPEN 12, Telegram is not really banned. It's banned for government agencies. So the military isn't allowed to use it. The politicians aren't allowed to use it. But they have all of those guys are on Telegram. Where do we get most of our military news from the front? Telegram. And like I say, I have seen that it now no longer works often if I'm on a VPN. So I don't know if that's Russia. I don't know if that's Telegram. Signal was banned in Russia about a month ago. Won't work unless you have a VPN. And that is everybody. I don't know if that is the Russian Federation or if that's Signal doing it. So again, because of the geopolitics, we have companies doing things to prevent people in Russia from using their applications. Google does this with a lot of their services. Can't use them in Crimea, period.
I mean, what can governments do to like really protect themselves? Because you have different countries that are making, different, like Apple, Microsoft, you have these big companies and they're all over the world.
Yeah.
And look, how many devices do we all have in our house between smart TVs and laptops and computers and phones? It's like privacy is gone. There is no more privacy.
Yes.
It's
and Russia now has all their own of the same devices. So, if a company, cuts off their nose to spite their face by not wanting to do business in Russia, Russia's glad to have a company pick that up.
Right.
China works with us. Everything's built in China anyway. I bought a new television. I wanted an LG because I like LG products. They convinced me to buy a Haier TV because the guys at DNS opened the backup, and it's an LG TV produced at the Haier factory that they put their own label on.
Oh, man.
And I paid half the price for it.
Yeah.
So Chantel, YouTube. Yes, it is banned, but it still works for many. Correct. And this is kind of how the bans have been working here. YouTube has been banned in Crimea. I haven't been able to use YouTube without a VPN for 2020, going on 2025. So for a little over 3 years now. And for those who do have it blocked, it's a lot of It depends on the internet company, the mobile service, as to whether they're blocking it or not. But VPN resolves it again. So I have a VPN. Well, it's not really a VPN. I have a system set up that gives me a Moscow IP address. And as long as I'm on it, it works just peachy keen. So that's the YouTube situation.
Kevin, what did we do? What did we do 30 years ago when we didn't have all the social media and all these messages? Like, how did we talk with our teacher? How did the parents talk with teachers or coaches or with each other, or with like, I don't know. It's crazy, like how much we depend on, like my cell phone. I don't even make phone calls on this, Kevin. It's a phone. I don't
Yeah.
even make phone calls.
And if you leave the house without it, you feel like you're naked.
Yes. And you know what I'm starting to do slowly? I'm leaving it at home when I just go to the market to buy some produce, because I'm embarrassed to say I left the house a while ago and I got it at a pretty good distance and I started freaking out. Like I had to come back home and get my phone. And I'm like, you know what? This is not healthy. So what I'm doing now is I leave the house, I walk with my dog, I go for 30 minutes to the park. I don't bring my phone.
And nobody bothers you.
Nobody bothers me. And I'm not getting anxiety or freak. But Kevin, our whole life is on this. It's a phone. We don't even use it to make phone calls.
So Daniel, how often, I actually stole this from a comedian that I was listening to the other day. How often do you have this phone sitting on the table next to you on the sofa? You're watching TV. It doesn't buzz, it doesn't ring, it doesn't beep or anything. And you reach over, you pick it up, you look at it. What are you looking for?
Yeah.
People do this unconsciously. Oh yeah, nobody sent me anything. Even though you didn't hear anything. How often do you recall when we had phones on the wall, old landlines? Did you walk over, pick it up? Nope, nobody there. I heard that and it's like, that was wonderful.
Or about, showing people pictures of the food that you ate at the restaurant, like what we do on such
food porn, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, so I'm really slowly, because after what happened and the anxiety I started feeling without my phone, I'm like, you know what? No more. I can't. I have to slowly, get out of that, mentality and that dependency on this.
So
Gary,
we've got about 15 minutes. I'm going to hit a few more questions. Jump in on any you want. So how can these be banned in Russia and yet still work? This is the vague situation of every law in Russia. They pass laws without the ability to enforce them. Think about, them passing this new decree for people to immigrate. They passed the law. It's effective September 1st, but until the middle of October, there were no rules around how to actually do it. So this is typical Russia. Chantel, it's just one of those things you have to get used to. I don't know.
Now, how Chantel is in Russia, right? I believe.
Chantel is in Russia. She's got another question here. I'll hit here in a second. Oh yeah. She just tried using a VPN to sign into Facebook and it hardly ever worked since being here. Depends on which server you pick, Chantel, and which VPN you're using. Works great for my wife. She uses, it has to be a US VPN or a UK VPN, a Western European VPN. Otherwise, no, it won't work. And it depends on the speed of the VPN, things like that. So if you want to reach out later, I have some solutions I can point you at. Christopher, yeah, we talked about that. We've got VK and mail.ru. So,
Yeah, George George's wrote, "Get rid of your TV, also a major cause of Western anxiety." You know, we've been in this flat now almost 6 years, and the first 5 years, no TV.
yeah,
We just got one just to watch movies. You know, we like to watch movies as a family, but we don't watch. We don't
yeah,
even have the TV. Like we don't even watch. We don't watch the news. We don't watch any of that. But for us, it's to watch as a family, to watch movies together.
yeah. Quite honestly, my wife and I watch movies on it, and since I've been banned to the first floor with the dog since his surgery, I turn it on at night because that background noise puts me to sleep immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Turn on YouTube to play. I go zonk, and a half hour later, the TV goes off. So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
that background noise drives my wife nuts. So I have lots of restless nights when I actually get to sleep in the bedroom. So Christopher is telling us about Windows 11. Yeah, it sends screenshots to Microsoft so that they can do technical support.
What? Windows
Oh
11
yeah,
does what?
it actually, depending on what you're doing, it actually does a screenshot and sends a compressed screenshot to Microsoft.
They're allowed to do that?
It's a private company. No
Wow.
privacy. No privacy.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
Um,
you know what though? You know what's scary? I could be talking about something with my wife, maybe real estate or buying something or looking at it, you know, for information from, and then I start getting ads for exactly what I was either talking to my wife about or what I was
yeah.
looking at on.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So WhatsApp can't do encrypted chats. Correct. Um, them the country 404 guys who intercept this are actually using a system that I wrote the manuals for and my wife translated to Ukrainian for the US military.
Mm.
So this is something I know well. And this is why I say, even in the United States, the FBI does monitor WhatsApp. So it is not a secure platform. I was using Signal with people for a while because it's all encrypted. But again, you have to use a VPN now.
How about everything that I was hearing about with the new financial system that's coming out and the new system with the internet? What is it called? Now I'm forgetting the name of. So there cannot be any more corruption in the financial system and on the internet. It's that type of computer. It's really fat. I'm drawing
Yeah,
a
I
blank now.
I know what you're talking about. I actually prepared a stream on that about 6 8 months ago. Never got to it. I don't think it's going to change anything.
But what's the name? Can you? What's the I forget this new financial system that's running right now side by side with the old system, and they're going to get rid of the old system so there can be no more corruption in like Wall Street and the financials with banking, and then they're also going to have it for the internet as well. Have you
Yeah,
heard?
it's called spying on people. It's like TSA at the airport. It's there to make you feel safe, but when have they ever stopped a hijacking or a bombing?
Mm.
It's it's propaganda. Signal is hardcore, total encryption, no server logs, blocking's entirely on the Russia end, not necessarily. um, and the reason being is that it's easy for a company to hard bake into their application, don't work in these regions. There's several of them that can do that. So, yes, when I say US or UK VPN, I mean not a US or UK company, because they most likely aren't legal here. I mean one that maintains a server there. So I have solutions. Let's leave that at that.
George is asking if I have Alexa in our house, and we never did, but my wife loves to listen to music, when she cooks, and just, listen to have music on while we're at home. And her sister and her mom bought it for her birthday, and I was livid. I'm like, why is this in the house? So we unplug it. We unplug it when we're not using it. It's only plugged in when music is playing, but there is a button on it that can stop her from listening. But anyway, yeah, I know about Alexa.
Well, there's a reason you can go, "Hey Alexa," and it answers you. I've got Apple HomePods in the house because I use them as hubs for our Apple Home stuff, so that I can turn on lights and automate the lights and stuff. And of course, Russia has their own too, which is Alice.
Right.
So,
well,
same thing.
Kevin, what can we do? So real quick, this is what I do at night when we sleep. All the electronics are off and they're in the kitchen. There are no electronics in the bedrooms. We turn the Wi-Fi off when we sleep, and we have an alarm clock to get us up in the morning. So we don't charge phones near us or while we're sleeping. No electronics are in the rooms. Wi-Fi is turned off. That's what we do while we sleep. During the day, when the phone's on me, if I'm not worried about any important calls, or I put it on airplane mode, because when it's on airplane mode, supposedly it doesn't omit any bad frequencies. But so we can do that to protect ourselves. What can we do? The world that we live in today, Kevin, what can we do to have privacy in our home with all this electronics?
You can do exactly what you're doing. Not have them, don't carry them with you. Reality is the next tie-in will be AI. I've been promising Jay I would do a series on that for close to a year now. So we'll pick that up at another time. But the best thing you can do is to not have them.
Right.
You can still get a landline telephone from the telephone company. Now,
really?
it can still be tapped. Absolutely.
Wait, but who uses them today? Who are you going to call on a landline?
You can call anybody that has a phone number.
Oh,
you
right.
can call somebody on their cell phone. Now, you're still risking your privacy because you're having a conversation with somebody on a cell phone.
Right.
So, go out and do what you and I did when we were younger. Go outside, talk to people face to face.
Right. Yeah.
Read a book. Have a conversation with your family at the dinner table rather than everybody, doing this number.
So there's no turning back, right, Kevin? Like
there's no turning back.
The electronics, social media, AI, all that, it's for the rest of our lives. Like there's no going back to writing letters, no cell phone. I guess there's no going back to.
There's no going back. You can reduce it a lot, and but you always have to keep a computer around these days anyway. So you have the same problem with your computer. And, and besides, how are people going to watch us on YouTube? if they don't have a computer or their phone. So if you're taking any of these suggestions seriously, make sure you turn it on at 8 to 9 p.m. on Saturday and on Sunday again. And, so you can catch us.
Kevin, let's start a group where we write letters to each other and we put them. I cannot remember the last time I put a letter in an envelope with a stamp and I went to the post office.
Me too.
We should do that. We should
Last
do
time
that.
I sent the letter, I sent it from my mailbox in the United States. I typed it in Word. I uploaded it to their system and they mailed it for me. So, yeah, we should start some pen pals.
We should do that, man. We should get a group together and just write letters to each other.
Yeah. So Jason wants to know if cell phones in Russia sending SMSs if they ever have troubles in Russia. You ever have any problems sending a text message?
Me?
Yeah.
You mean like an SMS?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even remember the last time I used this. Like I use Telegram. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't
a lot of
SMS.
the banking apps and stuff use SMSs. And as what I'll say is, I don't know, I bought some product out of Moscow the other day and I had to register. They took my Crimean cell phone number and never got the SMS. So you'll see some things like that for certain regions. But I plugged in my Moscow telephone number and, got the text right away. So I don't see it as a big issue here.
My sister stopped using Telegram. She's never on WhatsApp. She doesn't have WhatsApp, but I did send an SMS to her to the States and it worked.
Yeah.
To a
I use
+1
iMessage mostly, so
iMessage. Yeah. She doesn't have an iPhone.
Yeah.
But you know what, Kevin? I'm going to write you a letter. I'm going to write you a handwritten letter. I'm going to put it in an envelope with a stamp, and I'm going to the post office. I'm doing it.
Okay. And I will reply to you, my friend.
I'm doing it. Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm a little upset about before because maybe I'm naive. Maybe I have a lot of hope, but I thought about Q and the white hats and the black hats, and the white hats recruited Trump to clean out the deep state and everything's going to be great and beautiful and wonderful. And oh man,
we'll see. I don't have high hopes. We'll see. So my producer is telling me it's been a full hour because it's 10 o'clock. We've actually only been live for 59 minutes and 15 seconds. So I am going to suggest to people that they take Mr. Wonderful's suggestion here. There is a YouTube video from Homeland Security about AI, and it's a pretty cool one. Don't get too bent out of shape. Wanting to do something and doing it is two different things. So anyway, Jay, see ya. Our producer has to go. Thank you, Mr. W.
Happy birthday, Mr. W.
Yes. Sing. I sang to him. Sing, Daniel.
Happy birthday to you. С днем рождения тебя. Happy birthday, Mr. W. Happy birthday to you. Hurrah!
So, Jay, feel free to leave. Daniel and I are going to address a couple of minor things here and BS for a little bit if people want to hang out. Chantel, so since you mentioned it, yes, Kaspersky is a great VPN. In Russia, you have to have the Russian version or it won't work properly for you. Kaspersky also does a horse-pucky job of VPN and often will not work with things like Facebook. So if that's what you're running when you're having problems, that's it's with Facebook, it's probably Kaspersky. I quit using them for VPN because it's such a lousy VPN.
Goodbye, Jay.
There we go. Bye, Jay. Talk to you later. Thank you very much, dear producer.
I feel old, Kevin, because I don't even know a lot of things that you guys are talking about, like Viper. Is it called Viper?
Viper.
I don't. Yeah, like I use very little, just a few things that I use, and that's it. I don't even know a lot of what you guys are talking about.
I didn't have Viber until about 8 months ago when my granite guy went to Mariupol to build one of the new mosques up there. And he called me on it. And believe it or not, I did not have it on my phone and I still got notified.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I installed it to talk to him. That's about the only thing I use it for. Now, all of a sudden, if I get something at the post office, I get a message in Viber.
Viper? P-E-R or
Viber? V-I-B-E-R.
Viber.
Yeah.
And then my students, that are like at university or, they talk about all these different things that they communicate with them. I'm like, what? I mean, how many things are out there? I feel so old. I have Telegram and only WhatsApp because of all the groups that I have to be in for my children.
Yeah. I use Telegram for most everything. I do use WhatsApp for a good amount of things, but those are my two.
But Telegram right now, what's going on with Telegram? What happened with the founder? And now, is it safe anymore?
Yep. I hope VK will take their messaging service and create an app that can actually interface to it. Just because it's a little more efficient than opening up their full application. And so I actually like VK. Those of you who do not have a VK account, go out and create one. Some countries can't. Yeah, if you're in Russia, yes. A lot of English speakers out there. Some countries can't, with their phone numbers, open an account. So I know Canadians can. And I know a lot of Africans and South Africans who can. They have accounts. A lot of Europe can. The only people I've heard of having trouble is people in the States. And that could be because of the propaganda machines that the United States is using. I hear that Russia found out that there were APIs for VK that the United States was using to suck off people's profiles and use them for propaganda purposes.
Wait, API? What's an API?
Application Programming Interface. It's a way YouTube has them. Instagram uses what's called an API. You take a picture and you say post it to Instagram, it goes through a special interface to get it out there. Or if you, like your iPhone, if you say, gee, share this to Telegram, it uses an application programming interface to get it to Telegram. So there are open interfaces for most of the social media networks. And VK was one of the ones that the United States was tapping into and sucking people's information off of. And the Russian Federation found out about it and promptly had them closed down. George's has a VK account in the US, so I don't know. Just certain people must have trouble. So
and Z too. Well,
yeah,
I'm guessing probably cybersecurity is a good field to get into today.
yeah,
I would think, like, if you're in university, or you don't know what you want to be when you grow up, well, that would probably a good field to get into today.
yeah. Be a cyber
Cybersecurity,
geek.
AI. Wow.
AI. That's one we'll have to dig into deep. That the deep state.
Wait,
You, me, and Eddie.
did I just read that there was an AI? I forget the name of the program that was actually trying to trick the programmer or do something where. Oh man, what did I
It
just read
tried
the
to
other day?
escape. Yes,
What,
you
did you
saw
hear
that.
about that? That is crazy. That is
Yep.
crazy. So imagine a robot, an AI robot, because I've heard they wanted to arm robots to protect different areas, like maybe like militaries wanted to uh, have AI robots that are armed as security. I mean, that if we ever get to that point, that is really scary.
Yeah. Yep.
I
Jason's suggesting that you could install a base version of Android on your smartphone, which removes the Google services. It also makes it pretty unusable for any other services too. You
mm,
basically become a phone calling phone.
oh,
And Google still has access to your phone and data and voice. So it isn't as safe as one would think, Jason. I'll
um,
make some recommendations when we start talking about some of that stuff.
there is some scary things that are happening. Friends of ours, they're friends of theirs, got a phone call thinking it was their daughter, and it wasn't their daughter. It was her voice. It was her, and they left the house to go, and they're like, "What? She's not here." No, this like it was like they're using voice now to
This is the
pretend.
latest scam.
Oh
One of
man,
the things Crimea has implemented is they actually send messages to people with Crimean phone numbers warning them of the latest scams. And I've been getting messages on that for quite a while. Um,
that is
they'll
scary.
they take somebody's voice, they use AI to generate their voice to call you and tell you it's your child, they've been in an accident or they've been arrested, they need money. Yeah,
Wow. But this was their daughter. It was their daughter's voice calling, "Mom, Dad, come help, please." And they left the house,
yeah.
and she wasn't. It's like, oh man, so scary, so scary.
Hey,
Whoa,
future
snowy
guest.
Montreal.
Well, we had snowy Crimea yesterday.
Wow,
Posted a
snowy.
picture in my Telegram channel with the
Yeah,
snow we had.
yep, I
It,
saw it.
it was gone this morning. Well, it was looked pretty gone on that picture, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Okay.
thanks for having me, Kevin. I
Yeah,
always
always good
learn.
to have a chat with you, Daniel. I like our interaction. Makes it more fun than me talking to the screen.
But I always learn from you and Eddie, and I
Well,
I hope
thank
you
you.
guys I hope you guys learn a little something from me. I don't want it to be just a one-way
Yep.
relationship.
Oh, absolutely.
But you
And
have
just so people know, there will not be a stream on Eddie's channel tomorrow. We were talking about doing a cook-off against each other, but we didn't get that far. Eddie did make it to the United States safely, and
wonderful.
is one of those Russian puppet propagandists He spent about 5 minutes at passport control going into the States. They had no questions for him.
Wow.
And just sped on through.
See, things are getting better with Trump. Things are going to get better.
Well,
I have hope.
However, who did he tell me he was questioned by? In Turkey, he was with a guy. No, I guess it wasn't him that was questioned. He was in Turkey and met two other guys from Russia, Westerners, had a picture with them. And one of them, I don't remember if it was Eddie or one of the other guys, actually got questioned by the guys in Russia about who this guy they were with, Eddie, who this Eddie was that they were with in Turkey and why they were meeting him there.
Whoa.
So I told Eddie he can expect a thorough screening from the FSB on his return. We'll see.
Yeah. Future Dust 33, the alliance, President Putin and President Trump, saving the children and draining the deep state, main priorities. General public needs to wake up.
Unfortunately, this is the same thing Trump said in 2016. And what happened? The guys in suits and briefcases and came in and told them the way it was going to be. And that's the way it was. No swamp got drained. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We can hold out hope, but don't hold your breath.
Yeah.
All right.
Very good.
Daniel.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, our friends. And see you next week.
Yeah, you have
I
wonderful...
actually have a guest scheduled next week. So.
Oh, great. Wonderful. Yeah, you have a nice audience.
Yep.
Good people in your chat.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Talk to y'all later.
Good night, everyone.
Do svidaniya, spokojnej noci, dobry din, wherever you are.
С чего начинается Родина? С окошек горящих вдали, со старой отцовской